This is a simulation of the game Astro Empires. It allows you to play years to months of the game within a matter of minutes. All you do is input the commands or the initials of the building you want to build into the yellow column right here, and your results are displayed to the right in a running total fashion. This is essentially a lot like the battle calculator for the game, but instead of being for the war aspect, it's for the infrastructure aspect. It's really easy to use. I'm just trying to think of which order I should tackle this in. Let's talk about first is how to use it, and then some of the setbacks and areas where it falls a little short. Any cell with a yellow background is where you put the input, or the decisions of what you want to build, or just decisions in general. And any cells with a blue background are commands or inputs to be entered. Starting with the very top, we have the initial settings, essentially planet type, position from the star, planet size, and in the middle, over here, the middle table, that is the key of the commands to be put in along with all the values associated with them. To the left, this table is the building key. It has all the information of all the building options there are. I'm missing the capital building. And some of these values will change depending on your planet type, which if you play the game, you'll know. And over here to the right is the research table. This simulation does not incorporate the ability to do research. I ran out of time. It was a little more challenging than I thought, that aspect of it, and I ran out of steam, most importantly. But the scaffolding for it is in here already, so if anybody wants to pick up the ball and take a swing at it, be my guest. It's simply open source. So it's pretty easy to use. Just play the game like you normally would. Buying planets, all planets have to be purchased from planet 1. And you just type in the planet, then the number right into the yellow column like you would any other decision. I added on extra cost of $100 for each planet to account for the outpost ship that goes along with it. Also, what was I going to say? Each planet, so when you buy a second planet or a third, its starting time will be the time of the planet 1 when you bought it. So that way all their clocks stay synchronized. The way the bank account works, they give you the totals over here, the total economy credits, and the total economy period, is it looks at each planet, where each planet is on an hour by basis. And I could have made that increment smaller, but the problem with that is in the bank account page, it blows up with information. And it really bogs down your computer. So seeing how most decisions take longer than an hour to make anyway, I figured this will only be maybe a problem at first when you first buy a planet, and its average building times are within minutes. Because then over here on planet 1, as you're making decisions, it will tell you have X amount of money, but really you don't. Because if I purchase planet 2 at time 20, and on planet 2 I've yet to buy anything or make any decisions, but yet on planet 1 I keep making decisions to purchase and build, then and the time goes on, at time, for instance right here, time 24, it's telling me I have, I don't know, roughly 48, 32, 43, I didn't look the file that close, $48. But that all depends on what I chose to do on planet 2 in between those hours. So your totals are only accurate up to the minimum hour that's been played throughout all your planets. So if planet 1 is on planet 1 is on hour 100, planet 2 is on hour 110, and planet 3 is on hour 90, well then your totals are only accurate up to hour 90. And if you, let's say you try to buy something and it turns out you really didn't have the money, then the cells will turn red, and it's not that big a deal because you just erase what you input and back up and fix it and adjust. Regarding that in-between hour discrepancy, it really shouldn't be that big of an issue. As you, for instance, right here, we'll do it because so we're at hour 20. It says at hour 20 we had $4. So that means immediately over here, if I try to spend something that's more than $4, an economy center, then that's something I should fix. I should have had it so it turned red, but it didn't. So on top of that, it means that we're going to have to be conscientious about this is a simulated version of the video game Astro Empires. It allows you to play minutes to hours, hours to months of the games within minutes. It's not a complete simulation, and it has a few bugs. It's still a work in progress, but I'm kind of running out of steam, so I'm putting this out here to get help. And also, it's still of some use the way it is, so hopefully somebody can get some use of it. So you just input the command or the initials of the building that you want to build into the column with a yellow background. It's that easy. Any cell with a yellow background is a cell to receive input, and any cell with a blue background is a cell listing input to be entered. In the middle is the initial planet type key to essentially this is a virtual this is a simulated environment of the game Astro Empires. It allows you to play months to years of the game in minutes. The way it works is you just input the initials of the building you want to build into the column, the yellow column, and this is a simulation of the game virtual. So this is a simulated environment of the game Astro Empires. It allows you to play months to years of the game within minutes. It's really easy to use. You just type the initials of the building you want to build down here into the column with the yellow background, and it displays the results to the right in a running total fashion. This whole thing is really complicated, but yet it's really simple to use. Pretty much all of the cells with a yellow background are cells where input is to be entered, and all the cells with a blue background are cells with input to be entered elsewhere. The yellow receive and the blue give. Sorry, I'm just blacking out some things right now just to make this easier to look at. So starting with the top, we have the initial planet type, position, and size, and the key for all the information to be entered there is this table right here in the middle, and all the values associated with it are to the right. And depending on your planet type, some of the values for the building table will change. As you know, if you play the game, your metal refinery depends on certain aspects of the planet. Over here, so yeah, that covers the building key, the planet type key, and then you have over here to the right the research key. But this simulation does not incorporate the ability to do research, mainly because I ran out of time in Steam. It's a little more complicated than I thought too, trying to incorporate all that, especially when you get to the tachyon communication, trying to make it so that certain planets are linked and other ones aren't. That was just a little too much work. But pretty much the whole purpose of this is to be a lot like the battle calculator, but for the infrastructure side. To answer questions about which strategies of building will get you the results you're looking for quicker. Let me think. And it works pretty well, except for a few bugs. I got the planets working. You can have multiple planets. You just, to buy a planet, no, start over. Fucking A, dude. Hi, this is a simulated, no. This is a simulated version of the game Astro Empires. It allows you to play months to years of the game within minutes. It's really easy to use. You just enter the initials of the building you want to build down here into the yellow column, and it displays the results in a running total fashion to the right. Hold on. Some of this blacked out because I was kind of working on it, but pretty much started blacking out things that aren't important just to make it easier to follow. But anyway, the cells with yellow backgrounds are cells where input is entered, and cells with blue backgrounds are input to be entered. So if it doesn't have a yellow background, you really don't need to mess with it, unless you want to. In fact, I kind of encourage you to. This thing is a work in progress. It's not complete. The whole purpose of it is to answer questions about strategy, to compare strategies on the infrastructure side of the game. It's kind of like the battle calculator, but not for the war end, but the infrastructure side. So you can't build ships, you can't battle other people, you can't join alliances, of course. And unfortunately, I was hoping to get this incorporated, but I ran out of time in Steam, and it's a little more complicated than I thought initially, is the research end. So I left a lot of the scaffolding for the research in case anyone else wants to pick up the ball and try to take a swing at it. Other than that, this is open source, it's free. I will provide a link in the below the video, along with information like my email, so you can get in contact with me if you want to like continue to work on this or try to work on it. And I can tell you what I do know and don't know about it to help you, not so you don't have to start from scratch trying to decode and decrypt everything here. To buy another planet, it's pretty easy. All planets have to be bought from planet 1. That's an important thing. You can't buy another planet from another planet. This planet 1 is the only one you can do. I incorporated that ability too. And they are synchronized in time, but I'm having a little bit of trouble. I had the bank accounts synchronized between the planets, but I moved something somewhere, deleted something, and now it's not working again. And again, I kind of ran out of time to fix it. Maybe in a couple of months I'll pick it up and improve upon it. But as far as just working with one planet, it works. And I know it's a quick fix to get the bank accounts talking between the planets. And it pretty much will allow me to answer questions like, should I exclude certain buildings from my repertoire? For instance, I know like if you're positioned far away from the sun, the solar panel won't give you much, or certain planet types, the gas plant won't give you much. So then considering the area it takes up and the population it takes up, is it even worth the 2 energy it gives? So you can play the game in this environment, play one where you do upgrade the building, another one where you don't upgrade the building, and see which one fares better. But that's kind of a loosely defined strategy. I was kind of using more of a numerical basis of weighting decisions and then tweaking coefficients of formulas to see which one gives better weights for decisions. But again, that's all on you. And if you want to get into what I'm talking about, feel free to contact me. I don't expect you to try to test my strategies out. This is more for you to test your strategies out. So have fun.